Welcome to Universal Journey Talk, part one of episode 10.
All right. I am Kirk with my brother, once again, Erik, the allegorist. What's going on, man?
What's up, guys?
Hey. All right. So we had I think the brothers was our last episode. And this one was just a little bit more something that you and I were kind of just talking about, I think like last week or so. Again, we've kind of been doing a lot of stuff with our day to day and things. So we've been trying to do our episodes every week, but we had to skip last week, just being busy and things like that. But anyway, so we really want to cover this topic, whatever, which is something we were talking about before, which is it's broad, but we're going to get into a specific area of it. It's about relationships, kind of leading into soulmates, and then even more deeper than that. So I guess for one, like I've said before, my wife and I now we've been together for 26 years. So I feel like we've got some credentials in being able to kind of talk about the things that work for us, and also many of the hurdles that we had to go over. But one of the more interesting things that I kind of found was where you, Erik, actually in your travels and things, when you met Kristen some time ago, the two of you really didn't know too much.
I think about 6 years.
What's that?
It's been about 6 years.
Okay.
6.
So at the time, before that, I would definitely say you definitely had you've always had like a very strong mental way of, in a strange way, I think you were almost kind of manifesting before you really knew about manifesting. And then, in a strange kind of way, that's kind of, what kind of led both of your paths together. But what was more interesting about it was that then the two of you started to learn. I guess you felt like there was this different connection than like anyone else in the past. So you started looking into it. I think you went to like maybe like mediums and things like that, and they were trying to educate you and her on the concept, which then you taught to me and Vanessa and things like that. That once again in the universe, there's all different types of relationships and connections and things like that. But the one that they were kind of more indicating toward you and Kristen was that you were what's known as twin flames. And so it's a long, I guess people that are more into astrology and things like that, they understand it. I didn't know anything about it. So you had to teach me more about it and stuff. And it was very, very interesting because this is not just a relationship that is a one lifetime thing. This is something that's revisited over and over again through lifetime. So this is it's a very deep connection. And it was interesting because ever since you kind of met her, ever since then, the two of you really took off in a very different way that you were kind of living, your life, where you really got more into the universe, manifesting, spirituality, all these, and not just the more common Bible, based spirituality. You went off into very many different directions and stuff, which is really cool because then, of course, you started, relaying a lot of these things to myself and Vanessa, which really helped us have a much greater, idea of how things work. It's like even I had said some time ago, I think, in one of our earlier episodes, how, or maybe I didn't say it, but the one thing that I've kind of even been realizing is that the universe is always speaking. And once again, it's just, how do you want to try and hear it, or do you know that, you can listen to it and be in tune with it if you understand certain parts. Now, of course, there's so many different parts to that, but, like even how the universe, everything has like a perfect, synchronicity and how numbers are very important in understanding, the stars and numerology and all these other things and stuff, but how they all have an impact on us. Anyway, so Yeah. So basically, with you, I think it kind of started off with you and Kristen more. Once again, at realizing and through other people, teaching you and stuff, that you had this connection of being twin flames, and what that all means and stuff. Um, I'm sure you've, like anyone else in relationships, we're all gonna have up and downs. But it's just interesting. How it really kind of just took you in a very different direction, to where where you are now. You're so different from the way you were back then. So I think I just want to kind of turn it over to you to kind of just kind of explain a little bit more about anything about twin, or even what's related to it. By the way, if I'm a little nasally, I've been working out in the yard all day with all this pollen. I'm terrible. But anyway,
Yeah, me too. That's outside a lot. So.
yeah. All right. So wait, I'm just trying to. For some reason, it seems like your video and the audio syncing up, which is not good. All right. Well, hopefully we'll make this thing work. So getting back to you, so I think I just wanted to have you kind of like go over a little bit more about twin flames, and also anything that's kind of like in connection to it, and just kind of like like a bit of your journey, how it's changed you over these years, as you've learned more and more about your connection and your purpose and other things like that. So just take it away.
All right. I guess like twin flames, it can mean many things. People interpret it in many different ways, but I would guess the definition, one of the definitions of it would be like a twin flame relationship is an intense soul connection, sometimes called a mirror soul, thought to be a person's other, based on the idea that sometimes one soul gets splits into two bodies, divine feminine and divine masculine. And usually, as the human, I guess, when human beings or whatever, for that matter, come together in this divine union, which you'll call like a soulmate, twin. And I would say you have soulmates as well besides your twin. Like you can look at it as a soul tribe. And but when you come in a union with your soulmate, your twin, it's usually because there's a divine soul purpose. It's the relationship is more spiritual than of anything. You know what I mean? Some twin flames, it doesn't even have to be a romance relationship, or between a man and a woman necessarily. Some twins they could be brothers, they could be best friends of the same sex or gender in that matter. You know what I mean? Right. So there's many things. Or a twin could be a mother and daughter relationship. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But many of them obviously are the masculine, feminine, male, female, or gay partnerships. Because even when you look at that, it's usually even in like, let's say if it's two people of the same gender together, but when you go to the soul is still, there's a masculine, and then there's a divine masculine and divine feminine. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So like so you can understand it in many ways, but so when usually you come together in the same paradigm, usually twins, souls don't usually twins don't usually meet in the same paradigm. That's more like a phenomenon, in a sense. But when they do meet in the same paradigm, it's usually for a divine purpose, or a speedy evolution, a rapid evolution of consciousness, of your consciousness. You know what I mean? And evolving rapidly. Usually, that's why, like a twin flame relationship, it's like it says in the definition would be from a twin flame relationship is that it will be both challenging and healing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that would be that divine purpose, and usually that rockets you with to move forward in your to fulfill your soul's potential. You know, in its totality, or get there. They say Jesus and Mary Magdalene were twins.
Okay.
So when you look at it, Jesus representing the path of light or the divine, path, and Christ consciousness, and in evolving, into, I guess, 5D or and beyond. And that's one way you can look at it. And everyone, they say, usually has a twin soul. It just doesn't mean you aren't necessarily going to meet in the same paradigm, or at least yet. But right now, the way the universe has been expanding at an alarming rate, accelerating. Looking at the universe, if it's like God's mind, when God expands, everything else expands. We expand, humans.
Thanks for watching this segment. Much more to be discussed in the next part, so give this video a like, leave your comments for us to reply to in future episodes, and stay notified by hitting the subscribe button.